Good morning, lovelies. Today we are going to define every single punk subgenre in science fiction. Let me repeat that, science fiction, in quick succession. From steampunk to atompunk to some punks that you've probably never even heard of, because I sure didn't until I was researching for the script of this video. Also, fantasy apparently also has a ton of punk genres too that I never even heard of, but I'm pretty sure I've read because when I was scanning their descriptions they looked really familiar. We're not going to talk about that today. That's for a different video. Today, it's all about sci-fi. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more videos on science fiction, fantasy, and horror through a feminist lens. Also, we've got a Discord server where the DZA community geeks out about this stuff, full of writers and readers and screen junkies. All of my patrons have access to it as well as some other free goodies, so check out my Patreon link. It's in the description if you want to join us. So we got 12 today. Number 1 is Cyberpunk. You've probably already heard of it. If not, you have definitely seen it. There is literally a video game out there called Cyberpunk that pretty much captures the whole genre. Super futuristic tech, neon lights, mega corporations that have basically replaced countries in terms of political and cultural power, dystopia, robots and AIs. It's been called the combination of low life and high tech, meaning awesome technological advancement combined with a total breakdown of society and social order. Number 2, Steampunk. All the technology runs off of steam and everyone raided Queen Victoria's closet. While the aesthetic may be based off of early industrial revolution with steam engines and corsets and gears, the societal norms are totally up in the air. Sometimes it is very Victorian. Other times it's based more on the Old West, with fewer restrictions on women characters in particular. And sometimes the author creates an entirely different social order, keeping only the clothes and technological influence of that era, while women, POCs, and queer characters can do whatever they want. This is one of the subgenres that is more likely to combine with fantasy than most of the others, creating an epic fantasy world with Victorian or Old West inspired technology. Or there will be no magic, and instead it'll be an alternate history where humans never switched over to electricity. Number 3, Silkpunk. While steampunk is inspired by the Industrial Revolution of the West, Silkpunk is inspired by classical East Asian antiquity. The culture and technology will be pulled from any number of East Asian countries and time periods before Europeans showed up. Also prone to magic and epic fantasy genre benders, otherwise it's an alternate history. Number 4, Dieselpunk. Everything runs on diesel, a la World War I and World War II. If you're a tabletop gamer, you might recognize this from Scythe. Number 5, Clockpunk. If Victorian era is too modern for your sci-fi taste, go back further to the Renaissance. All the technology looks like it was pulled directly from Leonardo da Vinci's notebooks, because it probably was. Number 6, Biopunk. This one evolved from Cyberpunk, but rather than focus on cyberware and information technology, this one shifts gears and focuses on biotechnology, genetic engineering, and synthetic biology. This one arguably started with the Resident Evil games, which warns about the dangers of reckless biological experimentation, and also inspired the first rated R movie I ever got to see as a kid. This one is defined by totalitarian dystopians and cruel scientists who never learn from their mistakes no matter how many movies the franchise has. Number 7, Nanopunk. This one's a new one. Baby genre alert! Like Biopunk, this one came from Cyberpunk, only instead it focuses on the new and growing field of nanotechnology. Number 8, Solarpunk, aka Greenpunk, aka Ecopunk. What if humanity got its head out of its ass and actually fixed the incoming disaster of climate change? Basically, it focuses on green, sustainable technology and how that would affect society. Number 9, Apocalypse Punk. What if humanity doesn't do that? This is a genre of science fiction that specifically takes place after the apocalypse, usually in one of 2 subgenres. Either Desertpunk, where the whole world is a desert, a la Mad Max, or Oceanpunk, sometimes called Piratepunk, where the whole world's an ocean. And it's not really a thing, but there is kind of a third one that I've seen growing out there with stories like Snowpiercer, and I'm going to call it Snowpunk. Number 10, Atompunk. This is retro. It's 1950s American suburbs in space. That's it. That's the genre. Okay, I'm sure there's more to it, but that's basically how it got started. Number 9, Bronzepunk, aka Sandalpunk. All the technology and clothing are ancient, usually Greco-Roman, but the society is still technologically advanced, sometimes because of some super glowy rock thing. Think Atlantis, the Lost Empire. And number 12, Stonepunk. Everything's Stone Age, even the cars. If you've ever interacted with the Flintstones, you know what I'm talking about. Those are all the sci-fi punks. Tell me your favorite subgenre in the comments below, as well as your favorite stories in those subgenres so I can check them out. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you can, support us on Patreon. That link is in the description. Bye, lovelies!